Hello everyone, my name is Caroline and I'm here today to show you some of my cross-stitch progress. It has been a long time, it feels like, since the last time I put up a video. So the last time I put up a video was a stitch with me, and the one before, which was my first video, it was my whip parade. So back then you were able to see some of my whips. And I have a lot to show you today. I actually have everything on the table here. You can see a little sneak peek, but I'll try to move it so you don't see too much. And you might see me looking over there because I have my notes there that I might refer to, because I would like to give you a little bit of statistics on how many stitches I did on a particular project, and just how many days I worked on them basically. So I want to say that February was a short month. It went by fast, but it was also a busy month. I was busy with daily life, I was busy with stitching, I was busy with making cross-stitch patterns, which I also forgot to mention in my previous videos. I create cross-stitch patterns, which are full coverage, and I sell them on my Etsy shop. You can check it out if you are interested in seeing what my shop has to offer. So yeah, I really love making cross-stitch patterns, and I really want to stitch one of my own patterns. But my problem is I have a really hard time deciding which one, because when you make cross-stitch patterns, suddenly all of them are available to you and you really don't know which one to pick. So maybe you guys could let me know which one is your favorite. Maybe, I like all of them because I try to make stuff that I like into cross-stitch patterns, stuff that looks, appealing to me. So yeah, I have great fun making them. So okay, enough about that. I want to show you my progress, and actually I will start with two finishes. So I had two finishes this month, which I'm very pleased about. I worked hard to get them done. I managed to do them in early February. So the first finish I have is Coffee Van. So this is all finished now. The last time I showed it to you, this project, I believe, didn't have any backstitch. So I managed to do all the backstitching. Show you up close. So this is a project by, no, I can't remember. I will put the name of the designer on the screen for you. It is done on 14 count Ada, and I really love how it turned out. Just look at the colors. I did modify the pattern a little bit. I changed the writing here to coffee and tea, vintage coffee box, because I do have a friend who owns a business like this. It's an actual little trailer, it's not a van, but it is a trailer, and he has it in the park, and he sells tea and coffee. So I thought this would be a nice thing to gift it to him. I just don't know when I'm going to do it, because yeah, I need to frame it. It's all washed, ironed, and it just needs to be framed. So I'm really pleased about that. So I spent 3 days trying to finish this project. A lot of backstitching, let me tell you. And yeah, 3 days and it was finished. So I'm really, really pleased with this lovely finished piece. Moving on to the second project. This is my second finish, and it's the Rose Hip Summer Sampler by Owl Forest Embroidery. Here on this side you can see what it looked like when I showed it to you last. I had about 15% of it to go to stitch, and I managed to stitch it. I stitched, I believe, in this corner here, and I managed to finish it. And actually I am going to frame it eventually. But I was also thinking of making a little pillowcase out of it, like a cushion case. That would look really nice. But I think, because it's square, but I think I probably will go and frame it. It's a really nice one. So this is a project by Owl Forest Embroidery, and it used very few colors. I believe it was only 9 colors. And I stitched this on 32 count Murano fabric. It's hand dyed. It's in a yellow color. You can't really see the true color of it on the camera. And this month I spent 3 days on it, and I stitched 1296 stitches. So 3 days and 1296 stitches. So I'm pleased with the result. The colors are beautiful. And yeah, I'm glad to have a finish. I really, really am. Okay, so moving on to the next project. This is a big one. So this is my Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. And it's so big. I managed to get this little corner done, this little side. Yeah, I'm showing the right side, yes. So here on the other side you can see what it looked like last month when I showed it to you. So this is stitched on 32 count Belfast linen. I'm not sure what color it is. It's kind of beigey color fabric. I bought it ages ago and I really can't remember what color I purchased. So on this one I worked 4 days and I did 2131 stitches. For this one I'm using anchor threads. Now I can't remember the colors again, but I'm gonna put them on the screen so you can see the colors. And I'm using just the 2 colors of anchor floss. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how it's looking. I have about 11,000 stitches to go and it will be complete. I just have to complete the last 3 tiles down on the bottom. So yay, there will be another finish soon, hopefully. I'm really, really happy with this one. Alright, I had to move my camera a little bit because I did notice my phone was sliding. I need to invest in a proper tripod for my phone because the one I have isn't great. So right, the next project I want to show you, you actually haven't seen it. And I'm very sad to tell you, but this is going to be a UFO, I'm afraid. For now anyway, we'll see, maybe in the future I'll come back to it. So there is a Polish cross-stitch brand that make their own patterns. Their name is Camo, and they organized a mystery stitch along, and that was going to be divided for maybe 4 or 5 parts, and they were going to send a piece of the pattern every Tuesday. So the first Tuesday they sent the pattern. It turned out it had some mistakes. They resent it again. Then some people were complaining because Camo have their own stitching app, and they also sent the pattern for their app. I believe it's like HKS format or something. Like, it doesn't matter. But anyway, a lot of people were complaining that their app broke, that it was crashing, it wouldn't open. And there were just a lot of issues with this particular stitch along. And then the second part came out. I did the first part. I'm going to show you in a minute. The first part came out, then that was fine. The second part came out and it turned out to have a lot of mistakes. A row was missing, or there was something like there was one there was a repeated row or something. So a lot of people, you know, had to rip out the stitches and it wasn't very nice. So then the company actually apologized and they shared the full entire pattern for us to download and to stitch. So this is what I have so far. So here in the light it actually looks okay, but in real life I'm not very happy with how the colors are. So in the hand there are some beigey skin color tones with like pink and yellow undertones, and I personally don't think they should be blended like that. Here in the harsh light it really doesn't look bad, but in real life it really doesn't look that good. So I'm not very happy with it. As you can see, there is a little paw. So it was going to be a kitten. I will show you the full design here so you can see. So it's quite a cute design. I'm not very big fan of cats, to be honest, because I'm allergic to cats and I really suffer when I'm around them too much. So, you know, I've never really been close to cats. I'm more of a dog person. But it was a mystery stitch along, you know. If they had released each pattern every week, I probably would have stitched it. But now that I saw it was a cat, I'm kind of like, And you know, the colors aren't great. So I'm not, I think, yeah, this is going to my UFOs, which I don't have that many of. I think I have one more. And the other project is nearly finished. I just need to finish the back stitching. And funny enough, it's by the same brand, the other UFO I'm talking about. So on this one, I spent 5 days stitching it, so yeah, quite a lot. And I made 2,211 stitches. So I stitched this on DMC's 25 count fabric, and let me tell you, I do not like this fabric at all. I bought it ages ago. It's very, here I have it folded, but it's very thin, very see-through. Yeah, you can see I'm not mad on this fabric. I do prefer 25 count Zweigart Lugana fabric. It's much nicer to work on. This is okay, but yeah, I probably won't be using this fabric again. So that was that. And another project, it's one that I am stitching for my grandma as a gift. I actually wasn't going to show you this project, but you know what? It was going to be a surprise for my grandma, but I did tell her that I was stitching it for her because I'm quite bad at keeping surprises. You know, if it's keeping other people's secrets, I have no problems with that. But if it's my own surprise that I'm making for someone, I get so excited for them to know about it that, you know, sometimes I tend to spill the beans and tell them. So yeah, I did tell my grandma I was making it for her, and she was delighted. So just to let you know, like, my granny is a very religious person, and this is not typically a project that I would, you know, pick to stitch for myself. Not because I'm not religious, but because, like, I just tend to stitch different things. But I knew my grandma would be delighted with it, so I chose to stitch the Polish Pope, John Paul II. This is also a project by Cory Camo, but this pattern is actually gorgeous. So I spent quite a few days stitching this one. I will tell you now. So I spent 13 days on this project, and I have made 5,005 stitches. You can see it up close. There is no blends in this pattern, but there's quite a few petite stitches around his mouth and in the eyes. But I didn't mind. It's stitched on grey 32 count Murano fabric, 2/1. 2/1? Yes. 2/2. I always struggle to say that. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the result. I can't wait to finish it. I am hoping to make a good bit of progress on this one in March, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it because the project has around 18,000 stitches, so quite a few, and I have only made 5,000. There is a lot to go. Stitch on the bottom, his head, his little Pope hat, which I don't know what it's called in English. But yeah, I really like how this is turning out, and you can see it's the Polish Pope. It's quite a nice pattern, and it's easy because it has a lot of same color patches, so it's very pleasant to stitch. A lot of white in it as well, like 3,000 or 4,000 stitches are in white, so quite a lot. Next project I want to show you is my Kid Tender Love by Royales, and this is my yearly challenge. So this is how much I have now. This is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. So as you can see, the face is slowly starting to make an appearance. The hat is nearly finished. Just look at the pop of colors of the flowers. They're looking gorgeous. I was really enjoying stitching that. So on this project I have made 1,555 stitches. So every week, every Monday, I work on this project, and I have to make 388 or 389 stitches. So yeah, slowly but surely we're getting some progress on this one. It is a full coverage chart. It has some, it does have some backstitching, a lot of backstitching actually, but I haven't really started the backstitching yet. So I'm really pleased with how this is looking, and if everything goes well, this will be finished in December, at the end of December, the end of this year, because it is a yearly challenge. So I took all of the, you know, number of back stitches and the cross stitches and everything, and I divided it by 52, the weeks of the year. So I have to make the 388 389 stitches a week to get this completed by the end of the year. So this is stitched on 14 count Ada with wool acrylic yarn by Riolis. I have two more projects to show you. Can't believe we're nearly finished. It's not going to be a very long video. So the next project I worked on in the month of February is Autumn in Central Park. It is artwork by Thomas Kincaid and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is what it looks like now. And this is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. So I was working on this section down below here. The tree the tree was a bit of a struggle, but I managed to do it in a few days. So it took me 5 days to finish this section, and I put in 3,898 stitches, and I'm stitching this on 25 count Zweigart Lugana in 10 stitch 2/1 so with EMC thread. I'm forgetting to tell you these details, I'm sorry. I believe I said it in my whip parade. So yeah, I really like how now I can see the lantern starting to make an appearance. So something's going to be happening in this lovely picture. It would be nice if I could find some time to stitch on this again in March. Hopefully I will. Just a few days to put aside just for this project, because I'm stitching this one for my partner, because his dream is to go to New York. So I decided we can't go right now, but I will bring New York to him by stitching it for him, and I do love the artwork, so that's a nice bonus. Okay, right, so I have one more project to show it to you, and this is yet my biggest one that I stitched this month. How will I do it? Oh my goodness. Right, I'll show it to you this way. Oh, one of the things fell, the things to hold the park thread. I'll show it to you this way. So this is my Skyrim full coverage piece inspired by the game Skyrim. This is graphics from the game. This pattern was made by me by Polish lady Bożena Halicka. She makes cross stitch patterns out of beautiful pictures, and it is a killer of a pattern because it uses a lot of blended threads and a lot of color changes. You don't want to know what the back looks like. Let me tell you, like, it just looks horrendous. But anyway, this is my progress. So the last few days of February I spent on stitching this project. I had great fun. I really could not put it down, and right now I'm working on filling in this. Oh, sorry, I'm working on filling in this section. So I have about 1,000 stitches, maybe less. Yeah, around 1,000 stitches to finish this section, I believe. From to here, to about here. I'm not talking about these last two lines. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I might have added a little bit, a few more squares here. I'm not sure. This is stitched on 24 count Zweigart Congress Stramen cloth. And yeah, it's just, the more I look at it, the more in love I am with this project. I really like it. It's a very challenging project, but it surely is a wonderful one. So I want to continue working on it. When I started this project, I had a lot of problems. I didn't really know how to stitch full coverage. And because this pattern uses a lot of blended threads, I was struggling with my organization, and I just, like, changing threads so often, stitching cross country as well, and you know, because it's such a large chart, you were going all over the place. I was getting lost. So now what I do, I pick a little area and I just work within that area in cross country. I am getting rid of the parking method. I had a lot of park threads here last time, but now I only have a few more to finish, a few here and a lot here. But I will worry about that later. Yeah, I'm not going to do the parking method anymore because it's just very slow. And you know, I don't mind usually when the stitching goes a bit slower because it's supposed to be relaxing and enjoyable and it is not to be rushed. But I'm talking about making 60 stitches an hour on this one when this one has over 300,000 stitches. So in that rate, I wasn't going to finish it anytime soon. I don't know if I would even finish it in my lifetime if I was going that slow. So I did have to change my method a little bit, and now it's going a lot faster. So this month I stitched 2,844 stitches. This is 10 stitch 2/1, and I spent 6 days on this project. And yeah, I worked on this yesterday, and I'm probably going to work on this later today because I cannot put it down. It's just amazing. Now that my organization is, proper, if I can say it that way, I'm enjoying this project a lot more. I don't mind the blended threads at all. Yeah, and it's amazing. So I'm going to keep working on it. So that was it for my progress update. I did not stitch anything else. I have nothing else to show you. So I know maybe it wasn't too much, but I feel like I made decent progress this month. I did have 2 finishes. I did have 2 stars, one of which unfortunately is a UFO, but that's okay. Yeah, so just to end, thank you very much for watching. Thank you so much for lovely comments on my first video on the whip parade that I did. I did not expect such a great response from all of you, so thank you so much. Your comments were such joy to read. Yeah, thank you for everything. Before I go, I just want to remind you maybe to take a look at my Etsy shop if you would like to see what full coverage patterns I make. And yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!